All three of my Bokashi buckets are full, and two of them are needing to be emptied. So today I'm going to start a project of creating what they call a Bokashi Soil Factory. I'm going to empty these two buckets. This one here was finished on January 9th, and it's ready to be emptied. This is the current bucket. This one here was due to be emptied on the 25th. Today's the 29th, so we have plenty of time to empty it. So we've got all of our materials ready. We've got some topsoil here. We've got a container to put it in, and we're going to get started and get this Bokashi going. Okay, the first thing we need to do is put about 3 inches of soil in this bin that we're going to put the Bokashi in. There's a lot of lumps in there which I'll break up. We want the Bokashi to be in contact with as much soil as possible. I'm going to add some worm castings to that, which will add some microbial life to it. And then we'll empty our bucket of Bokashi into this Bokashi is fully fermented, and it's ready to go into the garden, but it's at -4 degrees outside at the present time, so it's not a good time to go into the garden. Break up the Bokashi as much as possible. Now I'm going to add some more worm castings and some biochar for that. Biochar is not a necessary additive to the soil factory, but what it does is it controls odor, so there'll be virtually no odor from this breakdown at all. Now that we've got that, we're going to add the rest of the topsoil onto this, and we'll clean it out. And then we'll seal this up and let it set for 2 weeks. And we'll come back and visit it and see what it looks like after 2 weeks. Now we'll cover this, but it cannot be airtight. It has to be loose so that it can get air. So we'll put a pin or something underneath of this to hold the cover off slightly. And it's ready to go now for 2 weeks. It will set here and it will turn that bokashi into soil, and we'll be back in 2 weeks and video the results of it. It's been about 3 weeks since I started the Bokashi Soil Factory, so today I'm going to dig into it and see how it looks and see if it's about completed and ready to move out into the storage area and use for this summer's potting soil. So let's see what it looks like. There's a little bit of mold growing on top. That's a good sign. That shows that it's good fungi-based soil. Digging through it, there's some of the garden or vegetable material. That's an onion skin. There's very little food scraps visible. There's a coffee filter that didn't break down. That's to be expected. And eggshells, those don't break down. Most of the bokashi has been digested. The paper towel and coffee filters do not break down. There's some mold. There's some more coffee filters. There's some more coffee filters. There's very, very few food scraps of any type visible in this soil. Most of what I'm seeing is the coffee filters and paper towels that were thrown in with the kitchen scraps. Something solid there. Another wad of paper towels and eggshells. So everything that I expected to be digested has been digested. The eggshells and paper towels and coffee filters are the only thing visible in this bucket of bokashi soil. And I think, since this has been so successful, I think I will empty out some of this soil into another container and then refill it with some more bokashi and let it set for another month, and it'll finish up. And when gardening season gets here by May, this will be ready to dump into the raised bed gardens and use as soil, as a compost. The only thing that I've found in here is one onion skin and eggshells, the paper towels and coffee filters. Nothing else has been visible anywhere in this bucket. So I think this has been very successful. If this were allowed to set for a little longer, probably those coffee filters would also be broken down by the microbes, but right now they're still whole. And in the garden, those are usually consumed by the earthworms, but there's no earthworms in this bucket, so they don't get dissolved. So again, I'm going to call this a success, because the only thing that did not break down is the coffee filters, paper towels, and eggplants, or eggshells. Everything else has been broken down into just black compost. So we're going to call this a success and move on and get ready for another bucket of compost or bokashi, and then we'll let it set for a while, and we'll be ready to go for the May planting of our raised bed gardens. All in all, I think this has been a very good success.